When I was a kid growing up, my mom used to make French onion soup all the time, especially in winter. It's a very hearty soup, it's filling, and it's inexpensive to make. My mother made the mistake of telling my father that it's the easiest thing to make. So she started focusing her efforts on more elaborate dishes, which was fine by me too. Today I'm going to make you my mom's authentic French onion soup. I hope you like it. It's inexpensive, it's hearty, and it's oh so good. Let's get started. We're going to need about 5 or 6 medium-sized onions. I'm going to use more because my onions are relatively small. You just want to trim the ends off, and go right down the middle, and then simply use your knife, just get under that skin, and just peel that back. I'm going to do that with all of them, and then we're going to slice them, just like this. Using a really heavy saucepan, we're just going to add 4 tablespoons of butter, let that melt, and then we're going to start adding our onions. Now you can use any kind of onions you want. You want to mix and match, you want to use some red, some yellow, it's totally up to you. We're going to add a little pinch of salt, and then we're going to add our onions. Another pinch of salt, we'll give that a good stir, and we want to get these good and caramelized. This is going to take about a half hour to 45 minutes. It depends on what kind of heat you're using, but you want these to get good and brown. Just let them sit. You don't need to turn them. Just let them get good and caramelized. They might even get a little burn in the bottom. That's okay. It's going to add more flavor to it. We're going to add some fresh thyme, about 3 or 4 cloves of garlic, a little dose of fresh pepper, and let it caramelize away. Meantime, the onions are cooking away. What we're going to do is we're going to take a cookie sheet or any kind of pan that you have, take a French baguette, cut it into about 1/2 inch to 1 inch pieces, stick it in the broiler for about 1 minute on each side, make sure your rack's up towards the top, keep your eye on it, you don't want it to burn, just want to get it a little crunchy. Alright, I think they're done. Here we go. Alright, we're just about done. What I forgot to put in, what I forgot to show you, I should say, is I wanted to add some bay leaves. I'll put 2 bay leaves in here as well. So I'm going to give this one little swirl. I'm going to let these continue to cook down probably for about another 10 minutes. Those onions are looking really good and caramelized. I'm now going to add about 3 tablespoons of flour. I'm going to let that cook in. I'm going to cook the flour out. So for about 2 minutes, just let that flour cook out, and then we're going to start adding our stocks. Now we're going to add 1/2 cup of sherry. Let that cook out. Get all those bits from the bottom of the caramelized onions out of there, just to glaze that pan a little bit. After the sherry's cooked out for about a minute, minute and a half, we're going to add just a little dash of cognac. If you don't have cognac, use a good brandy. Give that a good swirl. Let that cook out. 10 ounces of beef consommé, 32 ounces of beef broth. Give it all a little swirl and let this cook on medium for about 15 more minutes, and then we're going to go in the oven. All right, our French onion soup is done. Wish my mom was here to taste some of this, but I'll just let her know how good it is. So now what we're going to do is we're going to ladle some of this French onion soup right into an oven-proof bowl, preferably like a crock pot. Nothing too wide because you want to lay cheese right over the top. And you want to fill it up to about 1 inch from the top. I like a little bit more onions in mine, so I'm going to drain some of that liquid out of there. Put a little bit more onion in there. This is fantastic. Okay, so I think we're pretty much met our maximum. Those onions are really good and caramelized. And now what we're going to do is you can utilize any kind of cheese you want. The Gruyere, and I'm not sure if I pronounced that properly, but that is the best cheese to use. It's really stringy, it's a great flavor, but it's kind of expensive. So you can use whatever cheese you want. Maybe you want to use a mozzarella. I'm going to use a provolone tonight, and I'm going to put a little bit of Parmigiano Reggiano because I have some, and I love Reggiano cheese. We're going to take our little croutons that we've toasted, place them right on top. I'm going to take my Reggiano cheese, and I'm going to grate a little bit right over the top. I've got my oven on broil, so it's nice and hot. You want to make sure it's good and hot. and that your oven, that the rack is up towards the top, because you want that cheese to really melt, maybe even get a little bit of brown. So we're going to place this right over the top, like that. We're going to place this in the oven. I just wish that provolone was just a little bit wider, that it melted over the edges, because I kind of like taking the spoon and screwing up over the sides and getting that crunchy cheese. So we're going to take this, we're going to put this in the oven. You got to keep an eye on it. I can't tell you how long it's going to be. It depends on how you actually like it. The soup is already hot. So you want to make sure that you also put it on some sort of a dish in case it boils over, the cheese or whatever. You want to make a mess in your oven. Let's stick it in the oven and let's see how it goes. Soup's done. All right. I am excited to have some French onion soup. If you've noticed, I put a little extra cheese on top when I took the camera off because I wanted more cheese. I like when it goes over the side. I like mine really kind of crispy on top. So there you have it. Mom's French onion soup. This is a simple dish to make, and it's great for the winter, and it's inexpensive. Hope you try it. See you soon.